Fevers of Allen's Keynotes. Abrotinum fever. Great weakness and prostration, and a kind of hectic fever with children, unable to stand. Asceticum acidum. Hectic fever, skin dry and hot. Red spot on the left cheek and drenching night sweats. No thirst in fever. Aconitum napellus fever. Skin dry and hot. Face red or pale and red alternately. Burning thirst for large quantities of cold water. Intense nervous restlessness, tossing about in agony. Becomes intolerable towards evening and on going to sleep. Aconite should never be given simply to control the fever, never alternated with other drugs for that purpose. If it be a case requiring aconite, no other drug is needed. Aconite will cure the case. Unless indicated by the exciting cause, is nearly always injurious in first stages of typhoid fever. Amelinum nitrosum fever. Flushings start from face, stomach, various parts of the body, followed by sweating, often hot, profuse, abruptly limited. Parts below are icy cold. Followed by great prostration. Anthracinum. Septic fever, rapid loss of strength, sinking pulse, delirium, and fainting like pyrogenum. Apis mellifica. Intermittent fever, chill 3 p.m. with thirst, always compare ignatia. Aggravation warm room and from external heat, thuja 3 a.m. and at 3 p.m. Arnica montana fever. Heat of upper part of body, coldness of lower. The face or head and face alone is hot, the body cool. Arum triphyllum fever. Typhoid scarlatina with apathy, scanty or suppressed urine. Threatened uremia. Baptisia tinctoria fever. Decubitus in typhoid, compare arnica, muriaticum acidum, and pyrogenum. Belladonna fever. Head hot and painful. Face flushed. Eyes wild, staring, pupils dilated. Pulse full and bounding, globular, like buckshot striking the finger. Mucous membrane of mouth dry. Stool tardy and urine suppressed. Sleepy but cannot sleep, like chamomilla and opium. Cactus grandiflorus. Fever paroxysm returns at 11 a.m. and 11 p.m. Caladium sanguinum fever. Falls asleep during evening fever and wakes when it stops. Cinchona officinalis. Intermittent fever. Paroxysm anticipates from 2 to 3 hours each attack, compare chininum sulf. Returns every 7 or 14 days. Never at night. Sweat profusely all over on being covered or during sleep, like conium. Cocculus indicus. When fever assumes a slow, sneaking, nervous form, with vertigo, with disposition to anger. Eupatorium perfoliatum fever. Chill at 9 a.m. one day, at noon the next day. Bitter vomiting at close of chill. Drinking hastens chill and causes vomiting. Bone pains before and during chill. Insatiable thirst before and during chill and knows chill is coming because he cannot drink enough. Gelsemium sempervirens fever. Chill without thirst, especially along the spine, running up and down the back in rapid, wave-like succession from sacrum to occiput. Hyoscyamus niger fever. Pneumonia scarlatina rapidly becomes typhoid. Sensorium clouded, staring eyes, grasping at flocks or picking bedclothes. Teeth covered with swords, tongue dry and unwieldy. involuntary stool and urine. Subsultus tendinum, rare neurological complication of typhoid fever. Ignatia amara fever, red face during chill, like ferrum. Chill, with thirst during chill only. Amelioration by external heat. Heat without thirst, aggravation by covering, amelioration by covering is nux vomica. Note, Ignatia bears the same relation to the diseases of women that nux vomica does to sanguine, bilious men. Ipecacuana. Intermittent fever. In beginning of irregular cases, with nausea or from gastric disturbance. After abuse of or suppression from quinine. Lachesis mutus. Fever annually returning. Paroxysm every spring, like carbovegetabilis and sulfur. After suppression by quinine the previous autumn. Typhoid, typhus. Stupor or muttering delirium, sunken countenance, falling of lower jaw, tongue dry, black, trembles, is protruded with difficulty or catches on the teeth when protruding. Conjunctiva yellow or orange color. Perspiration cold, stains yellow, bloody, like lycopodium. Menanthes trifoliata. Fevers in which the cold stage predominates. Coldness felt most acutely in abdomen and legs. Muriaticum acidum fever. Typhoid or typhus. Deep stupid sleep. Unconscious while awake. Loud moaning or muttering. Tongue coated at edges, shrunken, dry, leather-like, paralyzed. Involuntary fetid stools while passing urine. Sliding down in bed. Pulse intermits every third beat. Natrium muriaticum. Fever blisters like pearls about the lips. Lips dry, sore and cracked, ulcerated. Like nitric acid. Intermittent fever. Paroxysm at 10 o'clock or 11 a.m. Old, chronic, badly treated cases, especially after suppression by quinine. Headache with unconsciousness during chill and heat. Sweat ameliorates pains. Nux vomica fever. Repugnance to cold or to cold air. Chilly on least movement from being uncovered. Must be covered in every stage of fever. Chill, heat, or sweat. Great heat, whole body burning hot, like aconite. Face red and hot, like belladonna, yet patient cannot move or uncover without being chilly. Opium fever. Bed feels so hot she cannot lie on it. Bed feels hard in arnica, bryonia, and pyrogenum. More often in search of a cool place. Must be uncovered. Petroselinum. Intermittent fever, complicating traumatic or chronic urethritis or stricture. With abdominal affections and perverted or defective assimilation. Phosphoricum acidum fever. Cerebral typhoid or typhus, complete apathy and stupor. Takes no notice, lies like a log, utterly regardless of surrounding. Intestinal hemorrhage, blood dark. Low types of fever. Podophyllum peltatum. Fever paroxysms at 7 a.m. with great loquacity during chill and heat. Sleep during perspiration. Pyrogenum fever. Chill begins in the back, between scapulae. Chill severe, general, of bones and extremities. Chill marking onset of septic fever. Temperature 103 to 106. Heat sudden, skin dry and burning. Pulse rapid, small, wiry, 140 to 170. Cold, clammy sweat follows. In septic fevers, especially puerperal. Pyrogenum has demonstrated its great value as a homeopathic dynamic antiseptic. Rustioxyciode en fever. When acute diseases assume a typhoid form. Diarrhea, with beginning typhoid, involuntary, with great exhaustion. Tearing pain down the posterior part of limbs during stool. Sambucus nigra fever. Dry heat while he sleeps. Fever on falling asleep. Fever after lying down. Fever without thirst, dreads uncovering. Must be covered in every stage, nux vomica. Staphysagria. In fever, ravenous hunger for days before attack. Tibacum fever. Icy coldness of surface, covered with cold sweat. Taraxacum fever. Debility, loss of appetite, profuse night sweats, especially when convalescing from bilious or typhoid fever. Restlessness of limbs in typhoid, like rustics and zinc. Veratrum album fever. In congestive or pernicious intermittent fever, with extreme coldness, thirst, face cold and collapsed. Skin cold and clammy, great prostration. Cold sweat on forehead and deathly pallor on face.